Hi everyone, thought I would show you a game I played in the county where following a player shortage I was called up to the open county team for Greater Manchester in actually a nothing match, a dead rubber one because both teams were already out. We was playing Leicestershire and I was on board 15 out of 16 playing a 1-4 for ECF rated opponent called Cowley. He'd beaten me a year ago when he was 1-5-9. I played D4, he played D5, he played the Queen's Gambit accepted, which I didn't want to see because I was already turned up 10 minutes late, so I didn't want to play an open I know very little about. I played E4, which is the sharp line, and now the best response is to play E5, and white usually gambits D4, something like this, and play gets very sharp with black having been a pawn up but white having the lead development, and usually white regains it with a small advantage. He played B5, which I'd lost to in about 16 moves last time I'd faced. I think it was 19 moves, so I didn't know what I was doing, but look, I was booked up this time on it. The point is, in the 3E3 line, black can't play this because there's a queen trick where I'll just show you now. In this line, if you try hanging on to pawn, it fails after A4, and if C6, A takes B5, A takes B5, and Queen F3, and wins a piece because Nxc4 is the only way to protect the rook. But of course, in this line, you've got a pawn in the way, so B5 makes more sense. But still, it's not a very good line. I played A4, immediately challenging the pawn, but she came to B7, and I played A takes B5. So now I'm going to get the C4 pawn back by force practically. I do lose a centre pawn, but I get time on the bishop. So Knight C3 played bishop D5, aiming to keep the pawn a bit longer. Now I think I should probably just take the bishop pair in this position, but I didn't like black's queen being in the centre, and I thought I might struggle to get this pawn back now, but actually the best move is Knight E2. If queen takes B5, we get Knight C3. I have to say Queen B3, we play Queen F3, C6, D5, and white is a very crushing position. So black maybe should play Queen B7, and then counter-attacking G2. Bishop takes C4 anyway. If Queen takes G2, then Bishop D5 wins. Say Knight F6. Something like castling, white is a massive compensation for the pawn. So that was interesting. But I played Knight F3, E6, Knight E5. So I'm just going to take the pawn with the knight. So after Knight D7, I took the knight. So again, we've got the familiar theme of I've got a space advantage, so I want to avoid piece swaps. But another factor is that I'm structurally a lot worse. Okay, black's got weak A7 and C7 pawns and open files, but mine's even worse because I've got an isolated pawn on D4 and double pawn isolated pawns on B file. So of course I need to try and keep some pieces on. So after I played Knight B6 after another piece swap, I went back to E5. And I played Bishop B4, developing a piece, getting close to castling, pinning my knight. I played though Queen G4, which is actually a strong move, and with reminds me a bit of the winner. Just to try and take advantage of the last move and create some weaknesses. He played Queen F6. Now his queen actually gets into very difficult. This guy actually played a very quiet but very strong move, Queen G3. Just getting the queen out anyway, then Knight H6 is. I'm preparing stuff like Bishop G5. Because the point is if I play Bishop G5 straight away, Queen F5, Queen takes, E takes. I didn't think this was very good because although I have double black's pawns, I felt they were quite good with a grip on them. E4 and white something slightly better. I thought more on Queen G3. He played H6 to stop Bishop G5, which would trap the queen. Well, not trap it, but it would have to come to F5, and then I think I've got Bishop D3. So let's say nothing move. Let's say Knight E7, Bishop G5, Queen F5, Bishop D3. Well, black can play Bishop takes, pawn takes, Bishop E4. But in this position, Bishop takes E7 is winning. If king takes e7, queen h4 check picks the bishop up, and if bishop takes d3, knight takes d3. After king takes c7, we've got queen takes c7 check, and white wins an important pawn with check. So say king moves the knight to c5, next move or e5 for a great position. So that was my threat, so we played h6 to stop that. I played bishop d3 anyway. Knight e7, castles, bishop d6. Now it's both already used over an hour by this point, but we get 2 hours for them, 40 moves and then another half an hour back, so it's not too bad. I played knight e4. Now of course I didn't really want to swap pieces off, but I figured that if I could win the 2 bishops, which I'm doing by force in this position, I will be much better. And of course he has to take, and then knight ed5. But black's quite solid, got a grip on my isolated pawn on d4. How do I make progress? I played f4, creating a stonewall type attacking formation. So it's supporting my knight, so instead of taking, I'm going to take the f pawn and open lines up. And now he castled. And now I think king h1, I think it's a bit slow that, there isn't really any threats on the diagonal. I think I should have just gone with it and played f5. Perhaps, but even so, the reason I did king h1 was I'd seen some ideas I had where the king does end up, where I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they calculate a variation where where my king ends up, it doesn't work, so my king ends up getting checked to some on the diagonal. But he played king h8 as well. Copycat. I played bishop d2, just getting the last piece into the game, connecting the rooks. He played rook g8. Not sure what that was about. I played f5, getting on with it. And that came to c4, which is I think not the strongest. But I played f takes e6. And now we had to play bishop takes e5. If rook takes f6, bishop takes g3, bishop takes d5, g takes f6, bishop takes c4. Everything's hanging. And now if the bishop moves, well, e takes f7. White has 2 pawns for the exchange, but actually b6 is crushing straight away with unstoppable threats. So actually, it's very too complicated this. But actually I think he should let his bishop drop and just play rook g4. So we take it, take here. Now both bishops are hanging, but after rook takes d2, so we've got rook takes a7. Okay, d8, take this one as well. But this is nothing special. We've got 2 pawns for the exchange and 2 passed pawns, but it's going to be hard to win. But bishop takes e5 is at least better for white, but he tried this tactic with queen takes e6, and I thought this was very clever, and I completely missed it. So I spent like 20 minutes on this move trying to work out a force win, and I actually played a very poor move. I played bishop f4, just trying to protect the knight again and get the knight out of the way, bishop out of the way of the knight. But this actually does win. I thought it didn't work, but it completely wins, because his other point is that of course my queen's hanging as well. But I just take it, I takes mine, take this knight, and his knight rook a fort. So that is going to be, in fact black's got 3 pieces on prees. So if he takes this guy, I take this one. If he takes this one, I take this one. White is exchange and a pawn over rook on the 7th. Game over. Yeah, I forgot that his knight was hanging at the end of it and he had all his pieces hanging. Very poor calculation on my part. So I put bishop f4. So we took it. I took back the pawn to gain a tempo. Bishop c5, not the best. Should have took on f4 first, which I expected. If bishop takes a8, queen takes e5, bishop c6, queen takes b2, and all of a sudden black's actually getting very active. And that's 2 pawns for the exchange, but still it should be better for white after queen f2. After knight takes f4, if I play e takes d6, you can play queen takes e4, rook takes f4, queen e5, d7. After d5, again, black's only slightly worse. So bishop f4 was not a good move. But after bishop c5, I found a new plan. I thought it was an absolute killer. Rook fc1. Actually, it's the wrong rook. The A rook is much stronger. I'm not entirely sure why. Best move given is f5. Bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, rook fd1. Bishop blocks, and queen d3, which seems to win a piece. So why is the f rook not as good? Because in the game I end up playing rook a6. So f5 is the best move. Counter-attacking my bishop. If bishop takes d5 in this position, queen takes d5. I can't use the other rook to win the bishop, that's why. But he played bishop b6 and didn't see my plan. I played rook c6, and after queen d7, I actually played I played an obvious move, which is the I pawned rook c6, but I didn't play the strongest move. I just went bishop takes h6, which just rips open black's king and wins the pawn, because of course bishop's immune because of mate 1. But actually, queen h4 is stronger because black has to give his queen up on c6, otherwise I'm just going to play second mate. A bit of played it quickly because I was running short of time. I was on about a minute a move. I was on move 26 and it was on a minute a move now, so I had about 14 minutes for 14 moves, so I wanted to speed up a bit to avoid blunting time pressure. But bishop takes h6 is just killing as well, so he can't be taken. He played f5. I played queen h3, but threatening a deadly discovery, so now he took it, but he's took back. King g7 and then rook h7 check, which wins the queen, but in the game he actually went to g6, now he's made him on the spot. So this is actually, apart from missing that tactic, this is actually a really nice positional and tactical game, this overall. And this was after a lot of bad run of form recently, so I was quite pleased with this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave any comments and thoughts. Thanks very much.